There was once a land so pure, it was taken by Europeans. Native Americans called this land home where they practiced their culture. The false founders of America seized the land ruthlessly as if the Native Americans were not human. Mistreatment amongst minorities was insane. The minorities included were immigrants and blacks. In the past, many Americans have looked down on blacks and immigrants. They always thought less of African Americans and treated them like they weren't human. Immigrants were always a fear to Americans as they thought they were going to take away their jobs. This then made it harder for them to find a job. Even to find a place to live was difficult because they overcrowded neighborhoods. This also raised another fear amongst Americans that they will mix in their cultures with an American culture. From the beginning of America, African Americans were already looked at and treated like animals. Slavery is what began Americans to view them in a negative light. This is why cases like Plessy v. Ferguson and Brown v. Board of Education took place.
If could cry, she would be crying today. As I stand here, there are 2,300 babies and kids who were ripped away from their parents by our government and are in detention facilities across America. America was a country founded by people fleeing persecution.
I've met these young people all across the country. They're studying in our schools, they're playing with our children, pledging allegiance to our flag, hoping to serve our country. They are Americans. In their hearts, in their minds, they are Americans through and through, in every single way but on paper. And all they want is to go to college and give back to the country they love.
Because they're wasting their time. They should apply to come into our country. We want them to come into our country. Very much. We need people to help us with all of these companies.
Today, it may seem like Trump really wants to separate families. He has put migrants, even children, in detention camps. There, they sleep in cool cages. Deportation is a word that will often haunt them and be a threat to them. African Americans as well still aren't equally treated and aren't given the same opportunity as whites in terms of wealth. It is unequally distributed by race. Less employment opportunities play a role in this as well, since many are discriminated. Just like in the past, being segregated does not make it easier. Okay, so Hugo and I have some questions to ask you about the First Amendment. Do you know what the First Amendment is?
Not at all.
Okay, so the First Amendment is basically our basic rights, which include freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of assembly, and freedom of religion. So,
first question is, being a woman in America, what does this amendment mean to you?
Being that America was built off of the basic rights and freedom and liberty, but it was also built by white males, I feel like these rights give me the opportunity to voice my opinion on inequality with women and to voice how I feel about being able to do what I want despite my gender.
Alright, so we have another question. Because you're a woman, do you feel like, or what do you think limits your right of the First Amendment?
What I feel like limits my right of the First Amendment is honestly the president that we have right now. I feel like he doesn't respect women, and I feel like he doesn't put women as a first priority, because most of what he talks about is immigration, building a wall, tax cuts.
So that, like, as we know, you're part of Global Glimpse and you basically, like, kind of lead the program. So how do you think that program contributes to the American dream?
Ooh, good question. I love it. So I think what Global Glimpse does to help support the American dream is that Global Glimpse is a really important program that creates equity of opportunities for all high school students. So whereas a lot of trips abroad for high school students are only affordable for the kids who have a lot of money, you know, it's like who can spend $4,000 necessarily $5,000 more on a trip. We make our program accessible to all students, and we believe that our program helps to prepare students for college and their careers. which in turn make them more competitive to get good jobs and to get into good universities and to get scholarships. So it kind of puts people on equal footings to be able to provide a life for their families and themselves that is comfortable and happy. So yeah, we're making the American dream more
Equality is where I see America uniting together. There is no discrimination and everyone is treated fairly. Everyone gets along and helps one another instead of judging one another. The past connects to equality because that is all what minorities were doing. They were fighting for their rights and to be treated fairly like the other Americans. They just wanted to be seen as everyone else and wanted the same respect. It was a step closer to more of a better future.